Hi guys, and welcome to another episode of this weekly alt analysis series where we go through some of the most popular altcoins in the market and show you how to easily identify key levels of higher time frame supports and resistances so that you can use them to either dollar cost average in or potentially play some longer term swing trades. So this week's episode we're going to go through the final pairs on our list. We're going to go through and take a look at the levels we marked out for XRP and ADA, both in their USDT and BTC pairs. But first of all, we are going to take a quick look at BTC as per usual. Looking a little bit ropey on the monthly time frame. As you can see, we've only got about 5 days left of this current monthly candle. Not looking too pretty at all, so we may well have seen the top of this bear market rally. If we go to the weekly, as we said last week, it looked like we could potentially be coming down to retest this 19k weekly level. It's certainly looking that way at the moment, although if we go down to the daily, the last line of defense is that 20.7k daily level, which is currently holding. Had a nice little bounce of it after last Friday's dump. So we'll have to see what happens. I think if we lose 20.7k, then we will head down to 19k and potentially even retest these lows that we formed back in June at around 17.5. But one step at a time, one day at a time, one level at a time. We'll have to see what happens. But in terms of our altcoins, let's take a look at XRP. So we recorded released the XRP video back on the 15th of July. So that would be this month, and as you can see, came into our monthly level of support, or range I should say, around between 33 cents and what's that, 29 cents. So if you dollar cost average into that, you'd be in a slight bit of profit at the moment. The peak of it about 28%, sitting now at around 17%, depending on what your average entry was, etc. If we go down to the weekly, again, not much of a different picture. So 15th of July would have been around about here during this week. In fact, let's go down to the actual day, see where we were. So we were actually just coming out of it, as you can see. So maybe jumped in, maybe not. Maybe you could have got in on this little wick here on the week of the 25th of July, but not too much action. Would have expected it to at least come up to this weekly level of resistance here around 46 to 51 cents. Obviously, that's not the case. So yeah, not really much to report on XRP, unfortunately. It has been quite a dull pair for quite some time. There's not been too much hype around XRP for a little while. So not that surprising, I suppose. If we go to the BTC pairing and the monthly, you can see it's just sort of floating in between the two monthly levels. So the monthly resistance here at 2,750 sats between 2,750 sats and 2,300 sats, and then this bottom support which has been tested quite a few times between, call it 700 sats and 75 sats. So just sort of floating here at around 1,600 sats. Not really much price action to be going on with. In the weekly time frame though, you can see it's been accumulating in our little weekly support box between 1,600 sats and 1,400 sats, but it's been there for quite a while, ever since the 20th of June. So yeah, it's been there for quite a while. Not much action, although it could have formed a little bit of a bottom here and could be starting to turn up. Although, as I say, with BTC looking pretty bearish, that could well change very soon. But not a bad place to pick some up in the hopes of a rally, and then a quite clear invalidation is just a weekly close below this weekly support zone. So any sort of weekly close below 1,400 sats, and I'd be looking to get out. And potentially, if you like XRP, you might get the opportunity to accumulate back down here at sub 1,000 sats potentially, back where we were around December 20 and March 21, that sort of time. So potentially an opportunity there. If we go to ADA monthly, again you can see that the past 4 months it's been sitting in this monthly support zone. We've drawn up between 45 cents and 35 cents. So ADA, we released a video 22nd of July. So where would that have been? So that would have been around here. So price would have probably already have broken out of that monthly support by the looks of it. 22nd of July. Okay, so you might have got this little dip here on the 26th, which just caught the top of our box at around 47 cents. So it's quite a big monthly support zone, as you can see, but it takes into account all these wicks for the past 4 months and the start of price action here back on April and May 2018. So pretty significant level. If it loses this, if it goes below 35 cents, then personally I could see it coming all the way down to 15 cents, right where this price action was at the top of July and August 2020, that little rally just before we got the big crash. So yeah, keep an eye on that. If we go, as I say, to the weekly, not really done much. It's come back into our weekly support zone, monthly support zone, I should say. Had a bit of a crash last week. So again, could be a potential opportunity here if we do see a rally in the BTC pairs. And yeah, I would be targeting up here around that. Sorry, not the BTC pairs, USD pairs. Could target somewhere around 75 to 80 cents. But again, with BTC looking weak, maybe not, but clear invalidation on that if you want to go for that. ADABTC monthly, unfortunately not much action. We had this bounce out of our monthly support zone before we recorded the video, so May and June. It had a nice little bounce, but the past 2 months it's not really done much at all, really. It's just been sort of moving between 2,400 sats and pretty much 2,100 sats, so very little movement. In fact, from bottom to top for the last 2 months, there's only been a 15% price move in the past 2 months. So yeah, that's pretty boring, pretty sideways. And even on the weekly, as you can see, it's just very choppy, just below this weekly resistance zone, actually between 2,600 sats and 2,450 sats. So not really much going on there. So unfortunately, guys, a bit of a boring update on XRP and ADA. Neither of them have really done too much. So yeah, we've gone through all these pairs, shown you how to draw on the levels, and we've also gone back and reviewed them all now. So if you guys have any pairs that you would like us to do some analysis on, then drop them in the comments below. And if not, then we're probably going to come up with something a little bit different next week to basically just fill some time until these pairs get some more action with these monthly and weekly levels, because obviously it just takes a lot of time. It's not as hard and fast as the lower time frames, so you don't get as much action. So you've just got to bide your time and wait for the opportunities. So we'll probably give it a little bit of time before we come back and revisit these levels. Or, of course, if we get some sort of dramatic price move from BTC in the next week or two, then obviously we can go back and review them, because there would have probably been some sort of interaction with them. So, yeah, that's it for this week, guys. As I say, if you've got any requests for TA, drop them in the comments below, and we will see you next week.